Jarace Walker defines modern basketball. He's versatile on both ends of the floor. He's got all the physical and athletic tools in the field for the game on both ends of the floor, which is why I viewed him as one of the safest prospects in the class, who I would have taken as high as 5th overall. I love his fit with the Indiana Pacers, both in the short and long term, and I want to go over his NBA projections in this video. But quickly, before we go any further, if you're new and like basketball, I would really appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and hit notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways to help me out in the YouTube algorithm, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Also, I would really appreciate if you would check out my friend Makai's channel. If you like my basketball content, you're going to like his content as well. He does in-depth NBA content about a variety of topics surrounding the best league in the world, and it's great content worth checking out. He's one of the hardest working people I know on the platform, and he deserves way more subscribers. So go check out his channel, watch a few of his videos, and let's try and get him to 1K subscribers. I'll link his channel in the description below and the pinned comment. Anyways, let's talk about Jarace Walker. Jarace Walker is a physical specimen. 6'8", 240 pounds with a 7'2" wingspan. He's had an NBA ready frame since he was 15 years old, and that's not hyperbole. At that age, he was around 6'6", 220 pounds. He enters the NBA physically ready to deal with NBA athletes. He's a good athlete in terms of pure athleticism. He moves well in terms of fluidity. He's super strong, good vertical athlete, moves well in open floor. I wouldn't say he's a freak athlete like the Thompson twins or Cam Whitmore, but even if he isn't that level of athlete, he is a good one that fits the mold of what you want in modern NBA, and a mold of physical and athletic profile that NBA teams desire in forwards. Where Walker will bring his most value as a rookie will be defense. He's extremely versatile, with a frame and movement skills that give him great ground coverage. He can play on and off the ball, and what he brings as an off-ball defender is what truly makes him special. He rotates well, he's smart in terms of help defense, he plays passing lanes, he brings value as a help side rim protector, also a pretty good defensive communicator as well. What you bring as an off-ball defender is what truly makes you a great defender in my opinion, and Jarace Walker has shown all the signs of being a potential high-level off-ball defender. In terms of on-ball defense, he uses his strength and movement skills to contain ball handlers. He can play the point of attack, he can defend wings, forwards, and even some bigs. I wouldn't say he's a true 1-5 defender. I do think he will struggle with quicker guards, but he can hold his own on switches, and he can play multiple defensive coverages. He has all the tools to be productive in terms of steals and blocks, but what makes me so confident in Walker as a defensive player, to the point I believe he was the second best defensive player in the 2023 NBA draft, and that also means he would be the best defensive player in the draft if he wasn't in the same class as that 8-foot basketball alien, is his feel for the game and motor. He's a really smart defensive player with high feel, and he has an incredible motor and plays with a competitive edge, which are key for being a great defensive player. Now, he's not perfect as a defender. Nobody is entering the NBA for the most part. He could work on his discipline in terms of fouls, but that's really something I look at and believe it can improve with time and reps. And overall, even with some of the discipline issues on defense, I think he will be better than the average rookie on that end of the floor. Offensively, Jarace Walker is very intriguing. I wouldn't say he's a bad offensive player, but he doesn't blow you out of the water as a scorer. Walker will bring his most value as a rookie with play finishing and connecting playmaking. He has all the physical and athletic tools to be a great play finisher, which I think is an area that he will thrive in early on, especially next to a great playmaker like Tyrese Halliburton, or if he's coming off the bench with a playmaker like Andrew Nembhard. And he's a high field passer. He makes good reads, has good vision, and looks to make the right play more times than not, which is really valuable to have on a team with two established scorers in Tyrese Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin. Now, Walker does have interesting upside as a creator and shooter. I wouldn't say he's a non-factor in those areas. He's not afraid to shoot the basketball, and he wasn't a terrible shooter in college. Slightly below average efficiency, right below 35%. I think it was like 34.7% on solid volume, around 3 attempts per game, which I think is enough of a sign to believe that he could grow into a good shooter. And he also has shown flashes of creation upside as well. Intriguing handle stuff, attacking the basket, doing some stuff off the bounce. Now, this is an area that I would say he's far from perfect at, but I do think that he does have the flashes on tape to be encouraged and optimistic about growth in these areas. I think Walker is in a great spot for his development. He's in a situation with playmakers like Halliburton and Demhard that will make life easier for him as a play finisher, and has the tools to be effective out the gate. He also has room to grow and develop in other areas of his offense. And I think that this is a spot where he will get easier looks playing off of Halliburton, who's an all-star, and Mathurin, who's a pretty good rim pressure threat and scorer. So not only will that mean easier play finishing looks, that will also lead to easier looks on the ball, as they're going to be focused on those two more times than not. And I do think that is a situation that could lead to Walker potentially reaching his ceiling. My rookie stat projection for Jarace Walker is 11.6 points per game, 6.4 rebounds per game, 3.3 assists per game, 1.4 steals per game, 1.1 blocks per game on 48.6, 32.4, 66.7 splits. I think he should start right away in Indiana, even with the addition of Obi Toppin. Obi is a better shooter than Walker, but Walker is already a better defensive player, better athlete in terms of non-vertical athleticism skills like lateral movement, open floor speed, fluidity, and strength. He's a better passer and just as good of a play finisher in my eyes. I wouldn't be shocked if Walker came off the bench at the start of the season, but I would be shocked if he doesn't take the starting job sooner rather than later in his rookie season as well. At his best, I think Jarace Walker could be a fringe all-star as well as a legit all-defense guy. My potential peak stat projection for Jarace Walker is 16.7 points per game, 8.3 rebounds per game, 5.7 assists per game, 2.1 steals per game, 1.8 blocks per game on 50.2, 36.8, 72.1 splits. The glue guy on a contender, but also someone that does put up numbers. One of the most versatile players in the NBA. One of the best two-way forwards in the NBA, and overall one of the best defensive players in the NBA. A guy who can make impact with and without stats, and a top 3 option on a contender. Now, him reaching this kind of production is contingent on him putting the flashes of creation and shooting together, but if he does put it all together, I do think we could be talking about one of the more complete players in basketball and the heart and soul of a contender. Now, like I've been saying with all these rookie projection videos, it's no guarantee that a player reaches his full potential. So what about the other outcomes? I think the middle ground outcome for Jarace Walker is a starting level two-way forward. A guy who can start on a contender, but is more than likely your 5th starter. Like I always say, the most realistic expectations are the ones in between the middle and high-end outcome. And to me, the most realistic expectation for Jarace Walker is a high-level starting forward, one that brings value as a connector on offense and a versatile defender, and is your 4th option on a contender. It's similar to my realistic expectations for Bilal Coulibaly, who I talked about in the last video. Go check that out if you haven't already. However, the difference between Walker and Coulibaly to me is the floor. Walker has a much higher floor because he has much more established skills, in my opinion, has shown more as a shooter, shown a bit more in terms of scoring, and this has more physical tools in terms of dealing with physicality. At worst, I think Walker will be a rotation level player in the NBA that brings energy, defense, and playmaking off the bench. I don't really see a world where Walker isn't a playable NBA player, and honestly, I would be shocked if he isn't a positive impact player in the NBA. Jarace Walker is a player with one of the highest floors in the class. His physical tools, motor, and feel for the game are just too good to not find success in the NBA, in my opinion. At his best, he could be one of the most valuable players in a contender. But even if he isn't that, his range of potential outcomes all suggest he should be an effective NBA contributor. His numbers may not always show it, but he will bring an impact to an NBA game in multiple ways on both ends of the floor. I don't know how good Jarace Walker will be. Only time will tell. But I can't wait to see what he does in the NBA. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, I'm notified whenever I release a video. I'm making videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways can help me out in the YouTube algorithm and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. And again, go check out Makai's channel. If you like my basketball content, you're going to like his as well. He's really good. He makes great content. He's one of the hardest working people I know. And he just deserves way more subscribers than he has. So go check out his channel. Go subscribe. Go watch some of his videos. I'll link his channel in the description below and the pinned comment. Let me know what you think about Jarace Walker in the comment section below. With that being said, have a nice day. I'll see you guys in the next one.